We got Steve Miller, former senior Trump policy advisor, Trump campaign surrogate, my good friend and former colleague. You know, Steve, I just think it was really cool. Today, a week before the convention, they put out the platform. It's easy to read. It's concise. It's consistent with the things that Mr. Trump has been saying for recent years. Actually, it's consistent with everything he did in the first term as presidency, which you heard Art Laffer say was so successful. What can you tell us about this platform? I'm sure you read it. I'm sure you may have had a hand in it.
Well, let's talk politics and let's talk policy. Politics, Larry. If you have to say something in 100 pages, you're doing it wrong. The historical approach to party platforms has been to go on forever and ever and ever and ever about every topic under the sun, which basically means you're saying nothing. This Trump-led, Trump-distilled platform that reduces the Republican Party's agenda to 20 essential promises is political genius. Every American can read it. Every American can share it. Every American can discuss it. This is what we're going to do on foreign policy, military policy, trade policy, dollar policy, economic policy, migration policy. It's all right there, 20 promises. Now let's talk about policy, Larry. You've been talking about on your show. I've enjoyed listening as I've sat here in the chair. This is a vision for radical prosperity, job creation, economic opportunity. Right? Lower taxes for everyone, no taxes on tips, slash government regulations, explode American energy, make energy in America as affordable as possible, tame the inflation dragon that's ravaging life savings, as you said, keep the dollar as the world standard, which means keeping America as the world superpower. Those two things are inextricably linked. Fighting foreign trade cheaters, especially China, so we can have a manufacturing boom at home, and restoring the rule of law in our cities and communities, which, Larry, as you know, without security, there's no prosperity. This is a vision to get Americans back to work in full-time, high-paying jobs that they can afford to pay for all the things their families need.
Steve Miller, I got to tell you, when I saw number 13, I was just talking to Art Laffer about the strong dollar, world reserve currency, I was weeping with tears of joy. Weeping with tears of joy. I was so happy I was beside myself. I'm almost as happy to hear that you're in the chair listening to our show. That's really a wonderful thing also. This whole thing is a day of blessings. But it's just, the other point I'll make is, these are things that Mr. Trump has been talking about. First of all, you could argue throughout his first term, which was so successful, as Art Laffer just attested to, but he's been talking about these things. This is key message points for the last several years on the campaign trail. The liberal media keeps ignoring it, but this is one reason he's put together this working class coalition, it seems to me. I'll ask you for your take. This is one reason. I know polls aren't votes, but polls are snapshots. These are the best polling numbers Mr. Trump has ever had. I mean, I think this is his message. People keep ignoring his message, and I didn't want the Biden follies tonight to obscure the importance of this message from the platform, because I think that's the real headline today, is what Mr. Trump has said once again in this platform, Steve Miller.
Yes. Look, if you want to know, everyone always talks about it, if you want to know what a populist agenda is, it's these 20 promises. Look, you have the Biden campaign, you have the leftist media out there lying every day, claiming that they know what Trump is for. This is the 20 promises. It's right here. If you want to see what President Trump's going to do, here's the 20 promises. Seal the border, stop the invasion, lower taxes, no taxes on tips, rebuild the military, build a missile defense system for the United States of America, keep the dollar as the world's reserve currency. It's all right there. This is an agenda Democrats can get behind, independents can get behind, centrists can get behind, moderates can get behind, conservatives can get behind, libertarians can get behind, nationalists can get behind, because this is an 80% governing agenda, Larry. And it's what you talk about on your show week in and week out, a recipe for prosperity, opportunity, and rising wages.
Thank you, Steve. You know, I love this. The eighth point, a great Iron Dome missile defense shield over our entire country. Just last 30 seconds, Steve Miller. This is a very powerful Reagan-esque promise, but very powerful in these times of uncertainty after Biden's foreign policy mistakes.
Yes, well, as President Trump has spoken about, we now have the technology. We didn't have it, candidly, 30 or 40 years ago. We now have the technology to build a truly state-of-the-art missile defense system so that we can achieve an unprecedented level of security for the United States in these troubling and dangerous times. President Trump is leading the way on laying out how we can have missile defense right here in the United States.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Steve Miller, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it very, very much. We'll see you in Milwaukee, if nothing else.